Welcome back to my channel. Hold on tight, because today we're stepping into a dark, twisted, and absolutely fascinating territory. I want to talk about my impressions of the first episode of the new series NANNO THE RESET. The series that shook the world a few years ago has returned with a new face and a new energy. You can watch it on Netflix, where it was released on March 7th, continuing the tradition of karma that never forgets. But the real news, the one that made social media explode, is the choice of the protagonist, Becky Armstrong. Seeing Becky move from the romantic roles she's known for into a cynical and immortal character like NANNO is a huge shock. But for me, it's a very positive one. Becky manages to give NANNO a new shade. She keeps the iconic laugh and the sharp gaze, but adds an unsettling elegance that makes this reset even more intriguing. It's the ultimate proof that her growth and maturity as an actress keep evolving and expanding. Now let's talk about the first episode. And I want to start from an image that struck me deeply. In this premiere, NANNO literally appears like an angel descending from the sky. It's a very powerful directing choice because it creates a jarring contrast with her true nature as an Avenger. To the audience, it immediately sends the feeling of a kind of divine salvation. Personally, when I watched the opening of the episode, I found myself hoping someone would intervene to help that poor boy, who was the victim of truly horrific abuse, the kind that makes you crave revenge. NANNO presents herself as the only possible escape, an ethereal figure that seems to bring either peace or vengeance into a sea of suffering. But this is where the series becomes really deep. Already in this first episode, we understand what lives inside NANNO's desires, or as I like to call it, inside her mental direction. She already knows where she wants the story to go. She has already visualized the perfect punishment for the guilty, and she shows it to us as well. However, NANNO never forces anyone's hand, and this is the central point of what I want to say today. NANNO offers the opportunity for revenge, but free will still exists. She places the weapon, whether metaphorical or real, into the victim's hands. She opens the door to revenge, but she lets the human being decide whether to walk through it or not. NANNO does not create evil. She simply brings it to the surface, allowing people's own choices to condemn them. But now, guys, let me step out of the analyst role for a moment and talk about emotions. I have to be honest. When I saw Becky Armstrong appear on screen, I felt something incredibly strong. It was a mix of excitement and pure euphoria that stayed with me for the entire episode. It wasn't just the joy of seeing her in a new project. It was the feeling of watching an actress reclaim the stage with a completely new strength. I have extremely high expectations for this role, and for everything Becky is doing right now. Because you know what I think? The title of the series is perfect. The reset feels like the theme of the story, but also like Becky Armstrong's reset as an actress. With NANNO, Becky is resetting the image the public had of her, tearing down preconceived ideas and proving that she can handle a psychological complexity and a darkness that very few people expected from her. It feels like an artistic rebirth, a new beginning that will let us discover a version of Becky we have never seen before. And if the beginning is any indication, this series could become a milestone in her career. This first episode of The Reset makes one thing very clear. NANNO hasn't changed. She has simply become more sophisticated. Becky Armstrong is hypnotic, and the directing keeps us glued to our seats, suspended between the desire for justice and the horror of its consequences. What about you? If you were in the protagonist's place, what would you have done? Would you have accepted NANNO's gift? Or would you have chosen the path of forgiveness? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to discuss it with you. I'm Andrea, and this was today's set. See you in the next episode. Bye!